Okay, this is the avocado update. This is June 11th, 2019, and this is, it's just hot. It's like 105, 106 today. This is the hottest day of the summer so far. Yesterday was 102. Tomorrow's going to be 103. And it's been in the 90s for a few days, and it's going to be in the 90s for, oh God, I don't know, about a dozen days afterwards. So, and we had a really cold spring that didn't really warm up when we transplanted these things. So the avocados got too much water in the spring, and it didn't dry out, and now they're melting like a popsicle here. So I'm kind of trying to keep them alive, but probably couldn't have picked a worse year to actually make the jump and put the damn things in the ground. But anyways, this is my patio, so it's been so bad I'm kind of buying replacements because I don't know if these guys are going to make it. That's my lamb house right there with the leaves just hanging over. But this is my backup Mexicola. Here's a bacon. Under here we have like a netted screen patio, and west is facing that way, and this is the south. So it gets a little morning sun coming in this way, or I should say towards that. So it's not actually too bad. But it is just so flippin' hot for these damn things. That's a Jim Bacon. This one is a Reed avocado. This is a grapefruit we have going for a neighbor. We're just doing some citrus stuff here, so got a blood orange. This one's a lime tree. Where's this one? Oh, this is my backup. This is a backup lamb house in case it dies. All right. So, Home Depot, you can snag these things for 20, 25 bucks between Home Depot and Lowe's. So this is the only time of year you can get them cheap, so I just kind of doubled up and bought some. That is our lime tree. That is what kind is it again? Oh, that's right, Myers Improved Lime. And over here is a navel orange, just for fun. Some herb stuff. But anyways, I'll show you the damage in the backyard. When I first put this thing in the ground, all the leaves fell off. We just had sticks and twigs. I didn't even know if they were going to bounce back. But I water these things at night, and I water them in the day. I've just been flooding the hell out of it, and the leaves actually perk up until the morning, and then they just cook, and they get like this. But these didn't even have any leaves. What it did have, some stupid snail crawled up here and ate half the leaves. So it's a fight to keep the snails off of here too. But I'm thinking if I can somehow suffer these things through, they'll get some pretty good roots going really fast because of all the heat. And if I can get them to survive, they'll be in really good shape for next year. So it's kind of just a challenge of giving them water, but not too much water. That's like a 4-foot wide hole here and mounded over because I'm anticipating it sinking down a little bit. The one that I do not think is going to make it, though, this is my surprise. It's a little bit dark back here in the corner, and it just, I bought this from a nursery, and it just sat out in the open, and the branches were just sun-fried, and the little stick was kind of dried out like that in the beginning, and it's just never been a healthy plant, and it just, I don't know, never really did a whole lot, and I think it's just going to be a goner. Unfortunately, I can't get a surprise around here, but I'm kind of hoping maybe, anyways, it's taking too long. There's little nubs on here that might make it, so if it's green, it may live. Kind of hoping it might. This is my little attempt to keep this thing shaded. It was actually working pretty well. I had this black thing hanging over it to give it even more. But this is my reed, and this one has some buds. They're kind of starting in here. So I think if I can keep this one out of the sun, get it whitewashed, This will bounce back kind of slowly. So anyways, I don't know if I should wash them with latex while it's in the middle of a heat wave. I'm thinking probably do it in the middle of the night or whatever, so the paint can kind of cure up. My whole big row of blueberries is actually doing pretty good. We cleared all those off before the heat wave came and hit, and we got like a nice sized punch bowl of blueberries. I was going to split them up and try different types, but we just cleared them all off and gave a whole bunch to neighbors and stuff, and that's pretty good. So I'll take you through our little jungle walk here to my other ones. The first holiday, it had root rot. It died. So I saw this one at a nursery. It was nice and green and fresh, and I just bought it and stuck it back in the hole. And it's rooted because it lost its leaves, and then they were all drooping over. I mean, we were on a vacation, so we had a neighbor watching for some of this, and they're fussy enough for me, and she had a hard time. I think she kind of skipped this one. Luckily, it wasn't super hot then, though. It was like low 80s. So it bounced back with some water and it was good to go again. This one is underneath a canopy, so it's pretty much full sun all day. So luckily that one landed up in a good spot. This one is the little Avocado, and you can tell it's just getting fried. I mean, those branches are just, ooh, I don't know if you can see how brown it is. So this one I'm going to have to paint. But this branch is hanging in okay, which is the new growth. That used to be the main branch. And I put this little thing on here to try and protect it somewhat. So I don't know, we'll see how that goes. These branches were green when we started this morning. It just got fried. Maybe this is a little too close and it cooked it. I don't know. God, it's just a punishing heat. It is so freaking hot. Whoa. But anyways, what are you gonna do, right? So that was a little rosemary starter. If the avocados bloomed, they like rosemary, so that was the whole point with that. That was the mother plant here. I still have to make a video. I'll go back through all of these things for the blueberries. But okay, let me take you to the front yard and show you what we have going on here. I put the more sensitive ones in the backyard, so if basically, you know, I don't know, I have to string Christmas lights and do weird crap around here in the winter time, you know, they'll be all right. But one tip I have for somebody is, if you do this, I think putting these in the ground in the spring is just not a good idea. By the time the big box stores have them, I put them in very early in spring, and it was cold and it was windy and all the leaves fell off, and if it kept going that route, they would have had root rot and died. So that was kind of a fun experience. On the other side, in Central Valley, California, we just instantly go to, you know, hot days from, you know, nice temperate days, and I think it just throws these things into shock. So I would probably say, if I had to do this all over again, I'd probably put them in the fall and just neglect them and don't even water them, maybe once every 2 weeks or something like that, just to keep them alive. But they'd have a whole year to get rooted. You can deal with the cold easier than you can deal with the heat on these things. You could tarp them off and you know, put a light bulb in there and warm them up, which I'm going to start putting shade cloths on these. I bought the stuff the other day. I didn't think it was going to get this goddamn hot this fast. It's just, oh my God, it's crazy. 5 days, 100 and something degree heat. They're just melting. So let me show you what we got going on in the front here. And this is my Fuerte. And this one's actually probably, it's probably doing the best out of all of them. And I'm debating about whether I'm going to give this one a shade cloth or not. I think I'm probably gonna have to, because I think it's getting a little bit fried. Those leaves are just getting browner and browner and browner, and I think if I don't do something, it's gonna get all sunburned and it'll just be hell on it. But anyways, one thing I did forget to mention is I could probably show what the time is. Weather, Modesto, California.
It's 104 degrees and mostly cloudy in Modesto. There is currently an excessive heat warning in effect.
So, yeah, it's pretty hot here. And it was actually down a few degrees. It was 106, 107 an hour or so ago. It was just, bad. And we're coming back from Florida. We went to Orlando for vacation. But maybe I should give you an up-close one. But the boxes are really nice. I like that. Redwood. I have a secret weapon. I probably should have shown you that was in the backyard. I'll show you that next, where I can just take a hose at full blast and put it in here without washing out all the soil. So that's the Fuerte. This one is a Stewart. It lost all of its branches or leaves, and I had to cut the top, cut the branch, because they were turning black. But this one has a lot of buds that I'm hoping, if I just can find the right water balance, it'll bounce back. There's a lot of crossing your finger with these. This is my Mexicola in the front. As soon as we put it down, there's nothing here. So when it was in spring, the wind was just coming through and it was just ripping this thing, and it just got kind of frostbite and ripped all the leaves right off of it. But this one, there's hope, has a few little leaf nodes popping up. So I was holding this on the ground. It's been like a month and a half. It hasn't been doing anything, but you know, if it's green, water it every once in a while and give it a chance to bounce back. So I think it's finally getting some roots going. And one thing about the heat is it makes them want to grow roots. So I'm thinking that's kind of what's going on here, is the hot air can kind of dry out the soil. As long as I water it, the roots chase the water a little bit more, and it's kind of a mess, but might actually make for some pretty strong trees in the long run. So let me go show you my secret weapon here. Okay, just want to show you guys my secret weapon if somebody wants to make one of these. It works really cool. Okay, normally you have something like this hose thing, you twist it, spray it, kind of an old-fashioned fireman's hose. These are pretty cool, but they're good for like spraying, spritzing. They don't really flood it, and if you do, you're blasting out water at, you know, high pressure, so you wind up washing your soil away, causing problems. And it takes forever if you want to fill up one of those big ass planters like that. I'd be sitting there for 30 minutes on every single one of them. So I basically invented this thing. It's basically just a big old honking valve. I think it's like a 1 inch, maybe even a 1 1/4 inch valve. Nope, 1 inch brass valve. Pipe, garden hose adapter. Not a whole lot there. I think converted it over to a PVC. And I put a 90 on the bottom of this thing to knock down the friction. So it basically does high volume, low pressure, high volume, low pressure. I'm sweating like a horse out here, so I'm sorry. But basically you can adjust this, dial it back, do whatever you want to do. But when you open it wide open, basically the water just bubbles out of the front. It only pops up maybe about 2-3 inches. So if you wave it around like this, it actually is a very gentle way of delivering a full garden hose amount of volume, but it doesn't wash the soil away. That's what the 90 does. It's beautiful. Keeps it from just shooting out of there. That takes the hit, stops it, bounces the water up, so it makes a very gentle way of doing it. Or if you want to flood the hell out of something and wash it around, you turn it upside down like that. But I should probably show this in action. I don't know, it cost like $40 to build. I built this a while back, but it really, really is slick. So I can, basically I just flood irrigate that thing with the water, raises up to the mound all the way around, like makes a moat, and I just kind of wander around there, drench it really well, That takes like 2-3 minutes, and then I can move on to the next one. I didn't plan on doing this every day, but Jesus, when it's 100 and something degrees, I'm afraid these things are gonna die if I don't don't water them every single day. It gets so flippin' hot. I'm gonna show you what our future forecast looks like. Weather, Modesto, California.
It's 104 degrees and mostly cloudy in Modesto. There is currently an excess.
Okay, that's what we have. Today is 105, tomorrow is 103, 96, 96, 94, 99, another 103, 103, 197, and it's been around 100 degrees for about 4 days now, so it's could not have picked a worse summer probably to put these things in the ground. The only thing that's going to make this any better, comical standpoint, is now we're probably going to have this horrible freeze in the wintertime, so yeah, God help me. I don't know. But anyways, these guys are my backups. If everything goes completely to hell, I'll throw them in the garage. And, you know, if they make it, my guys pull through, I'm just going to give these away to somebody. So maybe subscribe and I'll send you an avocado. Okay, have fun, guys. I'm getting out of the heat. It's too damn hot for me. Bye.